So we'll start from Proverbs 24 verse 3. If you have the Amplified Classic, I will appreciate it. Proverbs 24 verse 3, Amplified Classic. It says, through skillful and godly wisdom is a house, a life, a home, a family built, and by understanding it is established on a sound and good foundation. So through skillful and godly wisdom is a house, a life, a home, and a family built, and by understanding it is established on a sound and good foundation. And so I now understood that when it comes to God, anything that you're doing with God, God sees it as a building. Okay? God sees it as a building. So even marriage, God sees your marriage as a building. And he says that it is through skillful and godly wisdom. So not just head knowledge now, practical everyday tips are the things that God will give you that you can use to build your marriage. And so when I started thinking about marriage, I started thinking, okay, so if marriage is a building, there are certain things that you need to ask yourself when you want to build. And the first thing I asked myself is, what do I want to build? What kind of marriage do I want to build? And I'm asking you as well, what kind of marriage do you want to build? What kind of marriage do you want to have? And sometimes it's easier to make that decision when you're a single person. Okay? Not to say that when you're married you can't, but as a single person, before you even get into it, it's so much easier, because if you know what you want to build, then you will know who will build it with you. So this takes me to the fact that there are three, something Pastor K always says, and it has really blessed me, that there are three kinds of marriage. Okay? There's the cultural marriage, and that's the one that most of us, our parents, were into. Okay? And the cultural marriage, in quotes, favors the man, where the man is authoritarian. Okay? He's the Lord and master. What he says is law. He doesn't consider the other person, and he controls. It's a very controlling relationship. Okay? Where the woman is, in fact, if the woman speaks up too much, she can get beaten. Abuse is normal in that kind of marriage, and you can't really do much about it. So I'll give you an example. For those of you who are Nigerian in the room, it's not uncommon to see a man beat his wife in Nigeria. Am I right? You are pretending. You did not tell me that that's what we're doing here. Okay. So let's just say, in Nigeria, do they still beat their wife or not? They beat now. Why are you doing as if I came here with something that is not happening? And now the problem with that beating is that if you carry the matter to police, the police too just beat his wife, so he cannot help you. Okay, let's even assume that you got to court, and then you tell the judge that you want to divorce your husband because he's beating you. He has 3 wives at home that he's beating, so he's wondering what's wrong with this one. Did they not advise you before you came here? And of course he will rule, so it will always favor the man. Okay, that's how cultural marriage goes. And if he feels like it's not favoring him anymore, all he needs to do is call family meeting and return bride price. It's not that deep. And if he doesn't want to go through the stress of returning bride price, or he calls your family and says he wants to return bride price, and they say, this now we gave you your daughter, you just ignore all of you and go and take like 2 more wives. So he has options. The second kind of marriage is the contemporary marriage, and that marriage was a reaction to the cultural marriage. So women felt like we're being marginalized too much, okay, and women should have a voice. So contemporary marriage favors the woman. So that's the kind of marriage that we have mostly in the Western world, where if the man misbehaves, in fact, in cultural marriage, the man can threaten you with, I will divorce you. If in contemporary marriage, if the man says I will divorce you, you say, okay, oh, because that means that more than half of what you have is mine. And if you want to annoy me, you sleep on the couch. The man is now the one who is being oppressed. So in cultural marriage, the woman is oppressed. In contemporary marriage, the man is oppressed. And in contemporary marriage, what also happens is the fact that if it's not working, it's not a case of man is returning bride price. No, the woman just goes and gets a divorce, or she gets an open marriage, or she doesn't even marry at all. She just has a living partner. When things not working, everybody finds their way and we go away, and everybody's happy, no documents signed and all of that. But there's a God kind of marriage, which I call the kingdom marriage. The kingdom marriage favors both parties. The kingdom marriage, the emphasis is not just on the woman. I see the thing about the contemporary and the cultural marriage is that to defend that kind of marriage, what they do is that they take just one scripture and run with it. So in the cultural marriage, the man knows no other scripture except the woman should submit. In the contemporary marriage, the woman knows no other scripture except we submit one to another, meaning that there's no head in this relationship. We are the same. But in a kingdom marriage, there's a way God has already planned these things to work.